With the Super Bowl on the horizon and Jimmy Garoppolo in it for the 49ers, it's time to revisit that trade from a couple years ago. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar. Obviously now with Jimmy G leading the 49ers. Obviously they're a defense-led team, but he did his job to get his team to the Super Bowl. So now Patriots fans want to say, hey, why isn't he on our team? So how's this trade looking now in hindsight?
Yeah, well, there's two things that I know for sure, Sierra. One thing is that if the Patriots still had Jimmy Garoppolo on the team, then Tom Brady would not have been on the team. You find me a plausible scenario where they could have kept both guys here. One of them had to go, and the Patriots obviously picked Tom Brady over Jimmy G. I don't think anybody can fault them for doing so. If you want to allocate 30% of your salary cap to quarterbacks, you could have paid both of them. Good luck paying the rest of the roster, having anybody else around them. So really, they had no choice but to put Jimmy or Brady and kind of make that decision between the two of those guys. The second thing that I know is that although the trade kind of returned, looking back on it now, a second-round pick for a franchise quarterback probably wasn't what the Patriots could have gotten the most out of Jimmy Garoppolo, but they have now flipped that pick for about 6 other picks in the time being. So it's not like they really got just a second-round pick for Jimmy. They got a pretty valuable second-round pick, and they were able to then turn it into a bunch of different picks down the road as well, and they're going to add 5 or 6 players. They still have picks from that trade in this year's draft that they still haven't cashed in on.
When you look at it, Jimmy Garoppolo, like I said before, this is a defense-led team, the 49ers. He only threw 8 passes.
I know. It's wild.
In the NFC Championship game. So how would you actually evaluate how he's been playing throughout the playoffs?
That's another element of this to me. If the Patriots traded away a quarterback that blossomed into a Patrick Mahomes or a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson, then all this revisionist history would make a lot more sense to me. But what they traded away was a solid NFL starting quarterback. He was 13th in Pro Football Focus grading. He was 12th in QBR this year. You know, he's a good quarterback, but is he a Hall of Fame trajectory? Is he going to be a perennial MVP candidate? I don't see that when I watch him play. I see a guy that completes a lot of short throws, a lot of easy passes within that offense. They are running the football 75% of the time in the playoffs and through 2 games in the postseason, leaning on that running game really heavily. So Garoppolo does what's asked of him. To his credit, he hasn't screwed up too badly to really force them out of the playoffs yet, but I don't think that they traded away a franchise-altering quarterback here. I think Kyle Shanahan is really the franchise changer in San Francisco.
This Patriots Press Pass is brought to you by Car Shield. Call 800-CAR-6000 and mention code GARDEN, or go online at carshield.com and use code GARDEN for 10% off. That's carshield.com, code GARDEN. For all the rest of our Patriots off-season content, head to our website at CLNSmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.